In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can assess your own digital literacy using the categories in the reading assignment. From your assessment, you'll develop a plan to grow your own digital literacy. You'll carry out your plan throughout the semester, occasionally updating your professor and group. At the end of the semester, you'll make a presentation to the class about your digital literacy development. You could also write an essay about this journey for your portfolio. I'm using Doug Belshaw's 8 categories because they cover most aspects of digital literacy. From the scholarly research I've done, his 8 categories represent what most thinkers in the field of digital literacy would argue as necessary to be considered digitally literate. His categories go beyond merely executing a task on a device to asking ourselves to reflect on our use of hardware and software. Being digitally literate requires us to ask ourselves, what is happening to us when we log on to our computers, tablets, and phones? To be digitally literate, we must be aware and reflective about the digital practices we use every day, like texting, Facebook, or the internet. Too often, I've been very mindless when I've used these tools. Belshaw's categories are helping me to think more deeply about my use of digital tools. Belshaw's first category is cultural, and by that he's focusing on how culture and digital tools relate. Digital tools like devices, apps, or web documents are created within a set of cultural norms and conventions. In fact, all writing, whether it is online or off, has its origins in a culture. We don't escape cultural conventions when we go online, but instead we find them in abundance. But are we aware of them? Are we on the lookout for the culture behind the information we're getting? Growing your digital literacy may mean getting better at teasing out the culture behind the web page you look at every day. The next category is cognitive. The term refers to the mental processes we use when we're using our devices. Things like attention, memory, language, and problem solving. How do we do these things when we use our digital devices and tools? Do we use our cognitive functions differently when we're online? Is that okay if we do? Similar to the first category, this one is also about being aware of what we're doing when we're online. In this category, our focus needs to be on what's happening to us and our processes. I know I behave differently when I'm working on my computer. This is a category I'm starting to pay a lot of attention to as I work with more and more devices and tools. The third category, constructive, is about how we use the devices and the tools on them. Are we using them for our betterment? Are we getting the most out of them when we use them? Are we using tools in a smart way? Many of us want to use the digital tools and devices we have more effectively. I had this happen to me over the summer as I was preparing the syllabus. I had always wanted to know more about Microsoft Office tools. I put myself in a position this summer that forced me to learn how to use the tool more effectively. Now I feel like I'm using the tool in a constructive way. The next category, communicative, is similar to the previous one, constructive. It focuses on how we use tools, particularly to communicate. This category may be one that speaks to you as a student. First of all, this class asks you to communicate effectively and meaningfully through a digital medium. So in some ways, you're already starting work on this area of your digital literacy. Beyond our class, however, there are a number of other communication challenges you face. Do you know how to use social media effectively? What's your experience with email? How comfortable are you with open software like the Google Suite? Perhaps you would like to focus your digital literacy project on how you can get better at using digital tools to communicate in a wide variety of settings. In order to be a proficient user of technology, we must have the courage and confidence to dive into the unknown, take risks, make mistakes, and display confidence when messing around with new tools. Confident is Bellshaw's fifth category. I have spent much of the past 6 months developing my confidence about using new digital tools. It has been some journey. Perhaps you have something you've been wanting to learn to do, but haven't gotten around to doing so yet. This assignment gives you the opportunity to learn the app or the device that you wish you had greater confidence in using. The sixth category is creative. I have been working on being more creative with my documents over the past several months. For example, I've been using Microsoft Word for over a decade, but I did the same thing over and over with it. As you saw from your syllabus, I made myself be more creative with the document, and the document was more successful for me. This category overlaps with constructive, the third category, so you might pair these together. I'm sure you have some app or tool that you would like to learn to use in a more creative way. Here's your chance to learn how to do it. The next category, critical, reminds us that we have to think about the environment of the Internet and how that environment impacts our humanity. This is a big question category that we all need to think about as we work to become digitally literate. What is the Internet doing to us? How is it changing our human experience? In one way or another, each category connects to this one. For if you're not critical as a digital user, you cannot be digitally literate. As a scholar, this is an area of keen interest to me. It connects with my scholarly work in rhetoric. Civic is the final category. Technology should improve our lives, but not only our lives. It must improve the lives of others in the world, even those without digital literacy and technology. Civic is about our responsibility to others in the world. As part of being critical, we must also work to improve the world with our knowledge of technology. This is a category I need to spend more time reflecting upon. While I try to help others with digital donations, I wonder if I could do more. How do we become good digital citizens? It might be worthwhile to explore this topic in your project. Now it's your turn to assess your digital literacy using the 8 categories. On your individual learning blog, post a discussion of your digital literacy using Bellshaw's 8 categories. Show examples of strengths and weaknesses in each of the categories. Follow this post with another discussing how you intend to grow your digital literacy over the semester. Important points to keep in mind. Your project is semester long. You select how many and which categories you want to work on. You will get feedback on your project plan. You will make a presentation to the class about what you did at the end of the semester. If you have questions about the categories or need help with ideas, ask. I look forward to seeing what you come up with.